remember the likes of Fela Anikulapo-Kuti, who was his lawyer then, says that, well, this is not being justified. And the Federal High Court ordered is unconditional release. All of this, let's have more conversation about this legality of parading suspect. And joining us right here in the studio is a lawyer, a barrister, Don Akaegwu. He's not just only a lawyer, yes, he was also among the lawyers who had a case, who stood in for a presidential candidate, the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. We have Don Akaegwu, Barrister Don Akaegwu. Barrister, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Michael. My pleasure to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well. Thank
All
you.
right, good to see you again. It's been a while. Okay, now let's go into the conversation. I mean, what role does parading suspect play in the law? We just talked about, talked about the Fela incident, back then in 1997, the military, how all of this started in the military era. So what role does parading suspect play in the law?
Well, first of all, let's establish that parading of suspect is unconstitutional.
Okay.
But there is another side of it, so that people will be clear on this topic. Okay. There's what we call identification parade. Identification parade is not unlawful and it's not unconstitutional.
What is the identification parade?
Very well. Identification parade is quite different from parading of suspects. Okay. Identification parade is a situation where somebody said, I witnessed the commission of a crime, but the place was, for instance, not well lit. I cannot categorically pinpoint the very person who committed the crime. And so police will now effect arrest. Having effected arrest, the very person who alleged to have witnessed the commission of the crime will be brought to look at the people that have been arrested, to identify the person who committed the crime. And so the person can come and say, number one, not this one. Number two, not this one. Yes, it's this one. I remember his face very clearly. It's called identification parade. And that...
Those ones, would it be done right there in the cell, or it's going to be done outside?
Of course, it should be done within the police formation, because the police is the one sees of the case. Yes. There's no need bringing it to the public. Okay. So that we'll be clear on these two type of parades. Okay. Identification parade is done within... it can also be done within the locus in quo. That is the place the crime was alleged to have been committed. But what we are talking about principally is the unlawfulness of public parade, media parade, any form of parade, the unlawfulness of this. So if your question is, what role does parade? That's why I decided to differentiate two of them. Identification parade is not unlawful and is done within the precinct of the police premises, but public parade is the one that is very, very, very dehumanizing, and the one that is unconstitutional and unlawful. And I think that is the one we're looking at.
All right, and let's listen to the voice of the PPRO of police in Nigeria, and then we'll come back and talk more on this conversation.
The Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbeto, PhD, NPM, has reiterated the ban on the public parade of suspects by the operatives of the Nigeria Police Force. This commitment by the Inspector General of Police aims to uphold the fundamental human rights of every citizen and adhere to global best practices in policing by reiterating the standing directive prohibiting the public parade of criminal suspects before formal charges are filed in the court of law.
And that's the voice of ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi. Now, police have come out several times to say that, well, they reiterate that parading of suspects, just like you said, it's illegal. But still yet, we'll have pickets of this thing being done right here in our dear country. So, on what ground, then, does the police parade suspect? On what ground is the police doing this? Sometimes they say that, well, they are doing it for good governance, accountability. I don't know. The Police Act. I don't know if you come across the Police Act.
Yes.
So on what ground does
Section 37 of the Police Act tangentially mentions that, you see, Section 37 of the Police Act has taken its cue from other provisions of the Constitution and other enabling laws regarding the dignity of human person. The dignity of human person. From what you just played now, the Nigerian police are aware that parading of suspects are very illegal.
Even the AGF has also barred, police parade.
In fact, to put it
for parading suspects.
Yes, to put it beyond conjecture. The Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos State, the amended version, 2021, categorically in section 9A says police should refrain from parading of suspects before media. So it is no longer a suggestion. It is now mandatory that you should not parade suspects because it is unlawful. And so why do police keep parading suspects? I must be honest.
So the one that EFCC does, where they put like a placard or a board and they write the name, the age, and what the person was being caught with, is that also lawful?
That is completely unlawful and uncalled for. It's completely unlawful and uncalled for. Because parading of suspect is punishment. Who doesn't know that shaming is a form of punishment? We'll get to that point.
So is it not right when you do something and then you have to face the shame? I'm talking about the moral angle. You were talking about the law, but is it not right?
I'm not even under the law at all.
When I steal a yam, am I not supposed to face the shame for stealing the yam?
Yes.
In a moral sense.
Yes.
So how does that now play in our society?
The moral
now?
sense. This is where we are. Ours is a constitutional democracy.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Whether it is the moral aspect of it or the legal aspect of it, we have what is called judiciary.
Yes.
And it is the exclusive preserve of the judiciary to say what is moral and immoral within the context of our society and law. Okay? The reason is this. We're talking about parading of who? Suspects. Don't you know what suspect means?
I mean, they are not criminal.
It means you are suspecting the person. Okay? Police, the public, we are suspecting the person. Only the court can say, now, this person is no longer a suspect. This person is now a criminal. It means you have proved it beyond reasonable doubt that this person committed a crime. That is the reason why Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution is very clear on this.
Do you think that the Constitution needs to be reviewed, despite the fact that someone was being caught with harms?
Yes.
You know that this person did this evil, committed this murder, and then you say the person is still a suspect.
Why do you still need to take the person that was caught red-handed to court?
I should put it that you're a lawyer.
We're talking about the issue of morality. If there is no law, if there is no judicial system, it means we will take the laws into our hands. Oh, I caught this person red-handed. And in some instances, the person will say, I am not the one. It's someone that looks like me. I wasn't there. He has a alibi. You say this thing happened here, but I was in so place on that very day. So whether the person was caught red-handed or the person is being suspected to have committed the crime, everybody must be charged to court. It is not, the police does not have the virus, the jurisdiction to sit down and say, any person that is caught red-handed should be paraded. Any person that we are still suspecting, all of them under our constitution are referred to as suspects. And as long as you're still suspecting somebody, anything you do that time before charging him to court is called extrajudicial. Extrajudicial. So morally speaking, legally speaking, parading of suspects is wrong.
So what then do you now call, or what then is the right of an accused person under the Nigerian legal system?
The right of an accused person under the Nigerian legal system. Let us start from here. Okay. That's the reason why we have what we call the administration of criminal justice laws or act.
Okay.
People are not allowed to do whatever they want with respect to suspects or people you would say you are suspecting to have committed the crime. So their right is that they are presumed innocent until the contrary is proven. That is the right of every person in Nigeria. And that right sits very well. It's constitutionally guaranteed, enshrined in our constitution. Section 36, subsection 5, makes everybody to be innocent. But you see, ours is a banana republic, where the police thinks that, well, because this person, in fact, in Nigeria, whether the person was caught red-handed or being suspected of having committed a crime, police oftentimes regard anybody who has been caught or who they are investigating to be a criminal. I am a lawyer. I interface with police all the time. Police is my friend.
That's the language.
Yeah. Now listen to this. They will yell at you. Your client is a criminal. Someone wrote petition to you. You are investigating the matter. You are not the Holy Spirit. You were not there when the offense was committed. You are not even done investigating. You don't even have sufficient evidence yet. And even if you do, you are yelling at the person. That is what leads to this dehumanization. That is what leads to the conclusion that someone who is supposed to be a suspect is a criminal. And so when the person is a criminal, why shouldn't we embarrass the person? Why shouldn't we convict the person, in the public by dehumanizing and shaming the person?
So what is the role of a lawyer in this? Because sometimes there's just conflict between lawyers and police, in this issue of parading suspects. What more can a lawyer do, or the government do? What's the role of the government and even the lawyers in making sure that this word of the IGP, because sometimes you hear the police saying IGP don't talk in home. Sometimes that's the language. You say it, well, that's the IGP.
Yes,
it's not. Yeah,
that's the reason. Listen to me. That's the reason why I say successive IGPs in Nigeria, they only pay lip service. When you make a rule or you give orders, you monitor to ensure that the orders are carried out.
IGP cannot be everywhere.
You must have a monitoring system. You must have patrol vehicles that are checking whether the stop and search you ordered to stop, whether some people are still stopping and searching people. I was at Okoko yesterday. They are stopping and searching people and removing money from their pockets. On your way to Badagry, on your way to Lasu, everywhere, stop and search is still there. They collect money from Nigerians and give them balance, change, and say number one, number two. And yet the IGP has said stop and search must stop. This is hypocrisy.
All right, Lagos, let's hear from you in this conversation right here, talking about the legality of parading suspect and all of this corrupt practices by the Nigerian police. Yes, they say police is your friend. Yes, they say that sometimes, even the IGP or the IG will rather not argue this. As yes, he knows that sometimes we have bad eggs, amongst them. Let's have conversation on this. Yes, call us on 0705 6900 927. 0705 6900 927, or you can also call us on 0903 714 2798. 0903 714 2798. You can also send messages via WhatsApp. You can send your message via WhatsApp on 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 7711. 0802 502 7711. We're talking about parading of suspects in Nigeria, the legality and other factors of this act. You want to make a comment?
You asked me, what is the role of government?
Okay.
And what's the role of lawyers?
Yes.
Under Section 17 of our Constitution, the mother law, the Grundnorm, Section 17, subsection 1b categorically states that the sanctity of the human person, shall be recognized and human dignity shall be maintained and enhanced. That is one of the social objective of the Nigerian Constitution. Before we now go to Section 34, which now guarantees the right to dignity of human person. What more role should the government play beyond this? The government has gone ahead to give us the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. And Section 8, 1A and B guarantees in the process of arresting somebody, presenting the person before the court, charging the person, the Administration of Criminal Justice has that law, which we call ACJA, has guaranteed the protection of the dignity of the human person. That is government.
If the suspects know that they are not going to be paraded, don't you think it's going to aid some form of corruption in that system? Well, I know that. Well, I'm not going to be paraded, so I can go ahead to do the crime, and then we'll just like we say. You don't seem
to be getting this.
No, I understand but I'm also trying to be a human
at
factor.
The end of the day,
okay,
you were talking about deterrence, deterring people from committing crime.
Yeah,
the person is still going to be tried in court, and court is a public place.
Not everyone goes to the court.
If you don't want to go to court, that is your business. If court is a public place under our constitution, and what do you call them? Social media people and media people still publish what is in court, but at least now the person has been charged. There is a charge sheet. There's nothing wrong with picking a charge sheet and say this person has been charged for rape. The publicity you are looking for will still come out. This person has been charged for murder. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we are saying is that this is not a banana republic. The public, if you want someone to be shamed, why don't you hold on to follow the prescription of the law that have been proven to be guilty? And the process of proving the person to be guilty starts from charging the person that has the constitutional power to try a person and pronounce the person guilty, convict the person. The deterrence should not come from police parading whoever they call suspect. The reason why I'm passionate about this is this. I am a lawyer. I'm not a social media whatever. I'm not I'm a lawyer, and I'm a litigation lawyer. I'm in court on weekly basis, if not every day, and I have cases in court of people who we are paraded, and the court declared them not guilty. And there are so many people who we are paraded who were not even charged at all. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You have grossly violated the right of a person when you shamed him by parading him. It means you convicted him in your mind. You convicted him, you tried him in police station, and then you convicted and punished him. Don't you know that shaming is a form of punishment?
Yeah, of course.
Flogging is a form of punishment?
Yes.
Don't you know that?
Yeah.
That shaming is the high. You have destroyed his reputation. If the court, you are prejudging the person, the court frowns.
What reputation do you want to give to a criminal?
It's like you have worked in police before. Was your father a police officer? Is your father a police officer?
No,
nobody is a criminal.
Okay.
You cannot be a criminal and a suspect at the same time.
Okay.
It appears you want to join the police. Understand it? That's why I'm here.
I'm not joining that.
I am saying, listen to me. I am saying that you cannot be a man and a woman at the same time. You cannot be called suspect. That is what I'm trying to drum home. The Nigerian police is a suspect, and they are yelling at him, "You are a criminal." So the person is a suspect and a criminal at the same time.
So there's one that's been done in Delta State, where by a defy, that's the PPRO of police in Delta State. So many times where a parade suspect and then it takes their video from the back. Their face doesn't show, but he asks them. He's the one that is shown in the video. He asks them, "Okay, what's your name? This. What have you done? What were you caught doing?" I mean, yes, we see that.
That is horrible, hypocritical.
Even though their face is not showing.
Yes. The question you should be asking yourself is, what part of our law is police not established under our laws?
Of course they are.
What part of our laws are they taking their cue from? You have a police station. You have your police formation. You have your offices. They say this department is for rape. This department is for homicide. This department is for this. And you have carried your work from your office and you've decided now to bring it to the public. What law are you following? Let me tell you what they're doing.
Okay.
They want to impress Nigerians.
That the police is working?
Yes. They want to impress their superiors. And that is what leads to confessional statements. That is what leads to torture.
Are you saying confessional statement is wrong in the Police Act?
It's not wrong. Confessional statement is not wrong under our constitution, under the Evidence Act.
How about the duress confessional statement?
That's what I mean actually.
Okay.
That is what leads to forcing somebody to admit to a crime that he did not commit, after which you will now come and parade him to show Nigerians that police is working. Everybody knows that police is working. If you remove Nigerian police, there will be chaos, there will be anarchy. You don't need to show the public that police is working. Just do your job under the constitution and pass the ball to the next person, which is a judiciary, which is the court. They want to impress their superiors. They want to gain promotion by showing that they are working very hard. And so they come and say, some heinous criminals who have been terrorizing the Janiki area of Lagos were caught yesterday, and then you now display them. Often, I am not saying that everybody that is paraded did not commit a crime. I am saying that what you are doing is immoral and unconstitutional. And then they display them. And a good number of them don't even know what you're talking about. After dehumanizing them, yes, after dehumanizing them, detaining them beyond the constitutional prescription, they are now actually looking like criminals.
So what about those things that was cut from them that have been displayed? I mean, those the fire, not even the fire, I'll call it exhibits that's been displayed.
That is what I'm saying. Oftentimes, those things that are displayed, we are not gotten from those people. I am not telling you hearsay. I am a litigation lawyer. Okay? You carry these arms, displayed before the public. If those things are exhibit, who is the judge here? Take them to court now. Why are you displaying it before the public? These persons were caught with this. At the end of the day, you will still not charge more than half of them. That is, I'm here today to teach Nigerians how to go to court to enforce the breach of their fundamental rights after suffering shame, dehumanization.
So what about those
without being charged?
What about those who don't have the financial capacity to go to court?
That is where the problem is.
Well,
let's look into that.
Let's open this conversation right here to Lagosians. Part of the conversation this morning. Yes, call us on 0903 714 2798. 0903 714 2798. Or 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Or call us on 0802 0802 978 8003. 0802 978 8003. Don't forget you can also send in your message via WhatsApp on the 0705 6900 927. 0705 6900 927. All right, we have a message. Yeah, good morning, crew. Okay, Alamile come from Lagos. Congratulations, APC government. was last week. United Nations says Nigeria is number 1 in Africa as most malnourished people are second in the world. Also, he talked about Olamilekon. We're talking about the Police Act here. We're talking about legality of parading suspects, but you basically talking politics. Send us a message right here on what conversations we are having right here in the studio. We'll talk about this in the second half of the show. That's talking about the one-party state in Nigeria. That's in the second half of the show. But right now, the conversation is about the legality of parading suspect. The legality of parading suspect. There are so many concepts. And I'll tell you that the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, has reiterated the ban on public parade of criminal suspects by officers of the Nigerian police force. He emphasized that this aligns with the global best practices and is aimed at safeguarding the fundamental rights of all citizens, including those under investigation. The IGP has noted that parading suspects before formal charges are filed in court is not only a violation of their rights, but also undermines the principles of justice and a fair trial. Hello, good morning.
I'm Mrs. Oladele from Ifo in Ogun State.
All right, Mrs. Oladele from Ifo. Please go ahead. Olalere. All right, please go ahead and make your comment.
Yes. Yeah, my comment is that what of the criminals that are discharged and acquitted? What can you say about that? Because there are some people, truly they said they are suspects before they are taken to the court. But after taking to the court, they know that truly they are criminals because they burgled an house. And when they were taken to the court, they were discharged and acquitted. What can you say to that?
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, keep your question coming in. Yes, 0705 690 0927. That's the number to call us on. 0705 690 0927. All the other lines on 0903 0903 714 2798. 0903 714 2798. You can also reach out the other number 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. All right, Barrister, you had a caller there saying, what about those who are being discharged and acquitted even though they were criminals?
I want to stand against the word criminals.
Okay.
I know you may say something.
You caught him red-handed.
Okay, if you caught somebody red-handed,
yes.
I really love the question that the woman asked.
Okay.
I want to use the opportunity to explain something to Nigerians.
All right.
You see, the court, okay, the judge is not God Almighty. It's not the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Even the lawyer was not even there. The prosecutor wasn't there. Okay? And so the Evidence Act, listen to me, madam, that's what we call the Evidence Act. In other words, if you say this person committed this crime, present your evidence. That is number one. Even the presentation of evidence has procedure, rules, how you can present the evidence. And I'm sorry to say, oftentimes, someone you say was caught red-handed, if he gets a lawyer who does not know how to present the evidence according to law, the person will be let go. Because in our own judicial system, the rule and the norm is that it is better to discharge and acquit 10 guilty persons than to convict and jail one innocent person. With that at the back of the mind of the judge, if the evidence you have presented does not show that this person actually committed this crime, that is the reason why the law says you must prove the case beyond echo it for me. Beyond what?
Reasonable doubt.
Beyond reasonable doubt. And so the law says, if there is any doubt at all, that doubt will be resolved in favor of the accused. And so you caught somebody, but the lawyer you hired did not present the evidence according to the rules of the court. The person will be discharged and acquitted. It means you have not proved the case beyond reasonable doubt, even if the judge knows.
Well, in Kano State, I would say that the Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf, has demanded the public parade of suspected killers of 16 hunters and compensation for their He demanded it. So will you say this is right according to the law?
We have no business with his demand. I am here as a lawyer. Ours is a constitutional democracy. If we do...
He is the governor of the state.
I don't care who he is. Listen.
A mayhem happened in the state where innocent people were killed. Hunters were killed.
You say he's the governor of a state.
Yes.
He is not the Nigerian constitution. Okay. And he's not the judiciary.
Nobody's above the law.
And nobody's above the law.
Okay.
Even if President Tinubu says so. If President Tinubu orders the parade of suspects, the judiciary will not agree with him. Okay. Lawyers will not agree with him.
Oh, well, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello, sir.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Good morning.
What is our contribution? That person that we are discussing with him, he's supposed not to be on the air.
What's your name and where are you calling from? What's your name? What is your name and where are you calling from?
That's very wrong.
Okay, we can't hear you. We can't even don't understand you. You said something is very wrong. We don't understand. But please try call us back. It's 0903 714 2798. That's the number to call. 0903 714 2798 or 0705 690 0927 0705 690 0927. You can also send us a message via WhatsApp on that number. You can also send us a message via WhatsApp on that number. 0705 690 927. 0705 690 927. Yes, we'll still have Barrister Don Akaegwu right here talking about the legality of parading suspects in Nigeria. All right, quickly before we go to the next conversation on one-party state in Nigeria, how long can a suspect be detained in Nigeria? Because sometimes it seems to be the law will say 24 hours a suspect can be detained. But in Nigeria, how long should a suspect be detained in Nigeria?
Mike, I'll go to that. I'll get to that. You see, I am a Nigerian. I love Nigeria. There are many misunderstandings. There are many things that are very painful to Nigerians concerning our court system. Okay. What they don't know is that there are many things that are right with our court system. What they complain about is the corruption in the judiciary. Yeah. But I guarantee you that Nigeria has one of the best judicial systems if you remove corruption.
Yeah, corruption will not make it the best.
I say we have, if something has been set up to be good and it is awesome, okay, we are saying, if you look at our constitution, if you look at the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, if you look at the Police Act, Nigeria has more laws for the respectability of the dignity of human persons than any other nation around the world. What we are quarreling with is the observing those laws in breaching them without consequences. And our court system, oftentimes you are agitating that someone was caught red-handed.
Yes.
And the person was let go, discharged and acquitted. Yeah. It's very painful, even to me as a lawyer. Okay. But I am telling you that there is no sentiment in court. Court does not work with suspicion. Judges and courts will not sentence anybody to prison because you are suspecting him. You must prove that the person committed the offense. Are you getting me? Okay. And you must prove, if it is not so, so many innocent persons will be killed. So many innocent persons will be in prison. But he says some persons are not happy with this. Okay? What I'm saying...
Because they feel like this person was caught red-handed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you catch somebody red-handed, please understand that there are laid-down procedures for the presentation of your evidence before the court. If you miss it, even if the judge believes that the person was caught red-handed, if we must have sanity in the system, the person must be discharged and acquitted because you have not proven it according to the laid-down procedure. And outsiders, onlookers will be saying, hey, this person that was caught red-handed. Yeah. And they must understand what I'm saying now so that you don't talk with sentiment.
So it's a fault of the lawyer when such thing happen.
Yes. It can be fault of the lawyer, it can be fault of the police, it can be fault of anybody. Certainly not the fault of the judge. Because the judge works with evidence.
All right. We don't have much time right now because we need to go to the other conversation. But how long, like I said, how long can a suspect be detained in Nigeria?
Well, our constitution says 24 hours, 48 hours. 24 hours, the person has to be charged to court if the court is very close. 48 hours, if the court is a bit far from there.
From the police?
From the police formation.
Okay.
But there is another one now which has brought back what we used to call the holding charge.
Okay.
Where you say we have not concluded our evidence. Our investigation. And so you get to a magistrate court and get an order to detain him for 30 more days. And from my experience, I'm sorry to say this, while I am not condemning that, but you see, our police security personnel take advantage of whatever provision, whatever loophole they have. I have many clients. Let me remove my clients here now. The person is detained for 30 days. You say, we have gotten order from the magistrate to detain him for 30 days, which you are now supposed to use to carry further your investigation. But the person is kept there until he pays some amount of money and write undertaking to pay the rest. No investigation whatsoever is going on.
Money for what? Money for what?
Money to buy his freedom, of course.
Well, bail is free, they say, but we know that it's not so.
Bail is free.
All right, that's how much we can take on this conversation, talking about the legality of parading a suspect. We'll take a short breather, then we'll come back and talk more on one party state in Nigeria. Please stay with us.
We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. Switch to the good side of life here on 92.7 Super FM.
Hello, my name is Mr. Patrick. You are listening to Super FM 92.7.
Real radio, real music, it's 92.7 Super FM.
Welcome back. 92.7 Super FM.
All right, glad to have you back. Yes, it's still Spotlight on Super FM 92.7. Yes, we'll still have Barrister Don Akaegwu, who is among the lawyers of the presidential, the Labour Party presidential man, who is Peter Obi. Yes, Barrister Don Akaegwu, All right, now let's go to one party state in Nigeria, and one person who has definitely been kicking on this one party state is the APC chairman, who is no other person than Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Abdullahi Ganduje says that there is nothing wrong with having a one-party system in Nigeria. Well, he says also when the three senators, Adamu Aliero, Yahya Abdullahi, and Garuba Madioke of the platform of the PDP were said to have declared their intention to join the APC. Ganduje also said that, like China, Nigeria needs one-party state for effective governance. Barrister, I'll come to you right now. Do you think like you heard the comment of Ganduje, and there have been so many comments in regards to this, where Damagum, who is the PDP chairman, has said one-party system can only happen somewhere else, not in this country. Gambam also said that it is not debatable that Nigeria needs a strong opposition for democratic consolidation. Ganduje also said too many cooks spoil the soup. Too many political parties spoil governance. Your reaction to this?
Thank you. Nigeria is constitutionally a multi-party democracy. Constitutionally a multi-party democracy. And there is no need to do anything through the back door. If anyone desires Nigeria to become a one-party system, the person should push for the amendment of the laws, relevant laws. So, whereas Nigeria is constitutionally a multi-party democracy, but you see, since APC assumed power in 2015, it has increasingly functioned, Nigeria has increasingly functioned as a de facto one-party state. And that is the reason why Nigerians are now crying out. You see, a situation where you use the power of incumbency to force people to defect to your party is wrong. If you want Nigeria to be a one-party system, okay, why have you always kicked against independent candidacy? Why have you always kicked against independent candidacy if you are tired of parties? Did you hear what I said?
Would you prefer an independent candidate?
Let me tell you. People like Peter Obi, and some other politicians here and there, would prefer to contest as an individual, independently, and most of them will still win. If you say you are popular, I'm popular in my place. If winning election is not the making of INEC, and it is by your popularity, you should win election as an independent candidate. Are you not the one they want to vote for? Yeah. But you see, the bottleneck foisted on people by the party system, particularly the type of parties we have in Nigeria. Do you understand? Is the reason why people feel we should have our own party where people can at least express their political views. If you want Nigeria to become one-party system as it is gradually snowballing into, then amend the laws. Don't do it through the back door, because the way and manner it is being done now is doing more harm than good. The people are not factored into the equation at all. It is the massaging of the individual political ambitions. That's why they call it political career. And so you want to, in the course of satisfying your political career, you want to see tomorrow. What was the name of the party chairman? Ganduje, who is pushing for one party system. Tomorrow he will still, when it doesn't favor him in that party, he will still go to another party. There is no one major politician in Nigeria today who has remained in one party. Tell me the one. Tell me, was Tinubu always in APC? Was Atiku always in PDP?
Atiku came from APC.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There are no ideologies. There are no ideologies. So if you want to limit, I agree with the person only to the extent that I believe that the number of political parties should be limited. Okay? Because the type of money INEC spends because of the multi-party system is also not too good. Under Ibrahim Babangida, how many parties did we have? 2 parties. SDP and PDP.
Because of our time,
SDP, yeah.
Because of our time, in all of this, who do we blame? Do we blame the opposition? Do we blame the people? Because they've come out to say that, well, don't blame APC. It is not the fault of APC if Nigeria heads towards a one-party state. Who do we blame in all of this? The people or the opposition?
When you say the people, what do you mean by
Nigerians.
Nigerians? Nigerians are basically not involved in the type of politics we're playing.
But we can kick against most of this.
Yes, let them kick against it.
That's why we're saying Nigerians.
If I should blame anybody right here,
okay,
in this whatever, first of all, I want to blame the one manner we play our politics, our self-serving politics that has no Nigerians in view. But I should also blame the PDP, which should be the second largest political party. Okay, in my view, it's my view, and I may be wrong. If you did not allow somebody like Wike
to cross,
not to cross, anybody can cross to wherever he wants to cross. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a major player in a political party is serving under another political party, still dictating what happens in the other party. So you're that angel in the book of Revelation that is very tall, that has very big leg, mighty leg, one on the sea and one on the land. You are in charge of the sea, you are in charge of the land. And look at where that has brought us to.
It was at a meeting yesterday during the PDP's
that is what I'm saying.
National meeting.
And I know he also said he's very happy serving under President Tinubu. You know that APC wants one party system and you are serving under APC. And you are in PDP.
So what does that signify?
And PDP cannot sanction him. PDP.
Do they have that balls? Do they have that guts?
Why not? The NEC can sanction anybody for anti-party activity. What Wike is doing now, has it not gone beyond anti-party activity?
If they had want to do that, they will have done that.
Okay, tell me exactly why Wike cannot be disciplined or sanctioned.
Well,
I want to say, with the greatest respect in this world, shame.
We have had some PDP spokesperson here.
Say
and
what?
Said he's basically been sponsoring some people of the PDP. He has been the one, financing activities of the PDP.
From whose money? From his father's estate, right?
Well, I would say I'm not
accountant. I want to say shame to PDP. They are the ones that are bringing us, that have brought us where we are. If PDP stood their ground, we will not be where we are now. Okay? When you see, okay, look at what the leader of Kwankwasi said. That's Kwankwasi himself.
Yes.
He says it's a sin, is a grave sin to win election on the platform of a political party and then defect. Why? Okay. If you win election and the election was by votes, it means you are popular, right? It means the people voted you. Why are you defecting to another political party?
For grace, so that remember APC has always said that when you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. So maybe he has committed sin.
That means they are sinners.
And then
they are committing a lot of sins.
And then APC is
what kind of
God of salvation?
Yeah, of course. APC is the God of. That's not even the one bothering me. What is bothering me now is what, in fact, PDP deserve no respect. The PDP of today deserve no respect.
Why would you say so?
For allowing this huge anti-party display activities of Wike. Do you understand? To go on. Now they can't do anything. If it is someone else, they would have said anti-party. What does anti-party activity now mean within PDP?
Anyway, we don't have much time again. Unfortunately, we have to go right now. But Barrister, I just wish you have more time to make this one-party conversation, because it's a growing conversation. It's a conversation that Nigerians are beginning to be scared about. That where is this leading to? The likes of Labour Party, the likes of even SDPs. Even at the time, SDP came up and screwed the whole nation, and we thought
APC will not agree.
We thought it's becoming another force to reckon with. But right now, the likes of SDP, the likes of Labour Party, the likes of PDP are all going down the drain, and it seems to be we are heading to the APC. That's the one party state. But the APC chairman has said there is no crime There is nothing wrong having a one-party state. Will you say that the statement is wrong,